Hey everybody, my AOL password here with another video game review. Today we will be reviewing Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon. If you guys haven't heard about this game, this is a somewhat new game. This came out a few months ago, late in 2025, I believe, and it is very close to the Elder Scrolls games. So I will be using a lot of comparisons to the Elder Scrolls games, Oblivion, Skyrim specifically. So we'll go and see. I will tell you what I like, what I dislike, all that stuff. So let's hop in here. This is definitely a non-professional review. This is not very opinionated for me, personal experience, all that stuff. So, anyways, this game, like I said, is very close to the Elder Scrolls game when it comes to the gameplay and the RPG mechanics and a little bit of the story. The story is the story was well done. It was it focuses around Arthurian Celtic lore. You have a the spirit of King Arthur with you. You can use his quote unquote powers throughout the game. And the story is you have to go and find pieces of King Arthur's soul in throughout the game. And you kind of have to once you find it, then you unlock you know his full potential, all that stuff. And there's multiple endings to the game, so you can figure out what you want to do with that. But you're mainly going around the game world looking for fragments of his soul, and you're kind of like collecting those along the way. So that's all I'll say about the story without going into much more detail. But that is what it is. RPG mechanics or gameplay mechanics very similar to Elder Scrolls. It is like a open world exploration looter, uh like same format. There are slight variations when it, especially let's say combat. Combat it's somewhat the same but also different because in this game versus let's say Oblivion or Skyrim, there is there is a dodge mechanic, if that makes sense, or a rolling mechanic. No, I wouldn't say rolling mechanic, more like a dash dodge mechanic. It is combat's a little more tactical. The difficulty scaling in combat when it comes to your different difficulty levels are, I think, have a jump, bigger scaling jump, if that makes sense. Versus, the Elder Scrolls games, it's kind of like just going straight and attack. You kind of have to be tactical about your stuff. But when it comes to the difficulty scaling, you can, change your difficulty mid combat, all that stuff. There's no difficulty related achievements, so you can go play on the easiest mode if you want. I personally did a mix of the challenging and the easy modes uh, throughout the game. Especially the boss fights are definitely they're not all the same when it comes to fighting them. They all have different like there's not really a named boss fight that's very like the same throughout the game. Like they all have different mechanics, which is great. So yeah, so you kind of have to figure out what works, what doesn't work. Almost, I wouldn't say like it's not like Dark Souls type combat. It's still very much, Outer Scrolls type combat, but it is a little more tactical and a little more, and there is a dodge dash mechanic that you can take in there. The questing is still the same. Your mission, your side missions, your main missions, your miscellaneous, your radiant quests. There are bounties. Um, Fetch quests, all that stuff. The dialogue itself is very much the same. There's multiple dialogue options. There's um that give you different outcomes as well. There's yeah, there are multiple endings, which the Elder Scrolls games does not do that. But it is I appreciate the multiple endings because then it gives replayability of, oh, let's go back and see what the other endings like in X, Y, and Z. I think there's a total of three main endings, four main endings, five sub endings, and then a secret ending. And, and then the secret ending, I believe, is the quote unquote true ending to the game. Um, I might be wrong on that number, but I'm pretty sure it's around there. The DLC, there are DLCs for the game. I have not. I've only touched a little bit of the DLCs. I will plan on playing more. So this, what I'm talking about now, is just base game. So I forgot to mention that in the beginning of the video as well. The combat, the equipment, loadouts, all that stuff is very much similar to your Elder Scrolls games. You know, you have your magic, you can uh dual wield weapons, you have your one handers, two handers, all that stuff. Um so the crafting and upgrading system is slightly different. The Yeah, it is slightly different. And that goes along with your skill tree. The skill tree is definitely different. It's definitely more complex than, your Oblivion, Skyrim skill trees. So yeah, I will let you guys do all of that. I will say there's you have your attribute tree, which give you, or it's not really a tree, but your attributes, your strength, dexterity, endurance, perception, practicality, spirituality, all that stuff has its own attributes tree or attributes menu, UI, whatever you want to call it. And then the skill tree itself is separate from that. And then you have what you call the King Arthur's power that you get throughout the game has its own skill tree. So there's technically three different skill trees that you can pick and choose from. Uh, so there there is a campfire mechanic, but it's not like Dark Souls campfire mechanic. The campfire mechanic lets you rest, lets you fast travel, lets you skip time. You have to use the campfire to level up your skills there. You can talk to the soul of King Arthur there. They you can There's two types of campfires. One is like the campfires in the towns, and then your own campfire. Your own campfire is the one where you can use uh fast travel. Um that's the one where you can identify unidentified items, because there are unidentified items, mystery items that you get throughout looting the game world, and you can identify through there. They have a second currency called ethereal cobwebs, which fuels your own campfire that you can use for all that stuff. The crafting mechanics are also different than kind of the same, but similar. Because it relies on your skills more than the craft. Well, it relies on the skills as well as the crafting mechanic or crafting materials. Whereas, like, Elder Scrolls kind of just relies on your uh skill tree. There is cooking station, as all the cooking, crafting, alchemy, all that stuff is there. So, um, yeah. The game world itself is beautiful. There's three main regions of the game, and as you progress through the story, you can access more, one, two, or you can by the end you'll be able to access all the regions to the game. So it starts you out in the first region, and then you unlock the second one and third, and then yeah. But it is beautiful. It is I think I think the level design is good. Um, very much like the Elder Scrolls games, you can explore and do whatever, all the little unmarked areas, all the caves, all the there are a lot of hidden items within those um POIs, like caves or dungeons or whatever, that's not quest related. So you can do that as well. Uh a lot of unique weapons, a lot of unique gear, all that stuff. So performance wise, optimization, it is well done. I maybe there's a couple frame drops here and there. Some areas can get dense a little bit, especially like the foggy areas. There are areas where it's super foggy or the lighting is very like those those are very resource like resource hogs. So yeah, the map itself is really big, so you have lots of time to explore. You can have all your quests up on the map if you want. The fast traveling system you kind of did they call they have like little fast travel pillars that you have to fast travel from pillar to pillar. It's not like you could just fast travel from wherever you are in the game to wherever you want to go. You have to fast travel to one of the pillars. So uh, there are books and notes that you can read that unlock new recipes and new things. So the upgrading tiers uh, go towards the like I said earlier, the skill tree and there's skill tree related to crafting tiers and crafting materials as well as uh, workbench and the smelting and all that stuff. So yeah, uh, overall I enjoyed it. I'll definitely give it a 9 out of 10. No games like there's only a couple 10 out of 10 games. This is not one of those, but this is a very close. Like this is a 9 for me. I love these types of genres. It is a fun game. I know, and it's still like in its early life stage, and it's really good. There's a lot of content for it. There's one paid DLC. There's one free DLC and a bunch of free content updates. So there is a good amount of content to play through. It took me, I mean, there's you can dialogue skip, but it took me without like casually going and exploring, not rushing the story, all that stuff took me about 35, 40 hours. So it's for one thing, and then the DLCs will probably add another like 10. So and for an early game like that, it's still it's still a good amount of content. And there's lot to do, and you can play new play styles and all that stuff. Um, and I'm sure the studio is gonna make more content. So kudos to them. Um, yeah, I definitely give this game a 9 out of 10. If you guys like the Elder Scrolls games, if you like open world RPGs like that, similar to those games, you'll definitely love this game. I've been wanting to play this game for a while before playing it, and I finally got around to it because, uh, deep sales, so or holiday sales, and you pick it up and boom. So yeah, uh, thanks everyone for coming out and watch this video. Sorry if I missed anything. You can write down in the comments what you liked or didn't like about the game if you guys have played it or if you have questions or whatever, or if you or anything like that. So you guys can join my socials: Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. Drop a sub on here. Get see all my other cringe YouTube videos or YouTube reviews, as well as my YouTube shorts and the live streams that we do. So Yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.